So this smartwatch comes with all of the main features that you all wanted to see in an Android watch, and in this video we're going to explore all of them. Hey guys, iMAT here. Today we have the VP29 Smartwatch. It's an Android watch which comes with camera and SIM support and many amazing features like this. Before we start today's video, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button to help me reach 50,000 subscribers, and if the video helps you out, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. So just like most of the Android watches we see these days, it comes with a plastic frame. On the body we get a camera, a side key, here we have the SIM tray and the speakers here. We will talk about the SIM network and the camera later in the video. And although it copies the style of Apple Watch Series 10, but it is not in 46mm size, and it can neither use Apple Watch Ultra 2 case nor the Apple Watch Series 10 case. But talking about the straps, it is compatible with the Apple Watch straps, and the strap locks are also functional and they won't come out until you press the button and then push the straps. Here's how the smartwatch looks on the wrist. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. After that, it uses an AMOLED display, because of which the overall colors are quite good. The smartwatch is also quite smooth to use, as you can see here. If you use the torch application, then here is a look at the bezel size. Considering the size of the display, I think the bezel size is fine. The overall resolution is also quite good. It is said to be 410 x 502 pixels, which makes everything crystal clear. After that, we have a new position for the SIM card tray, which does not interfere with the design of the watch, and overall it looks like the Apple Watch Series 10. It supports 4G and 5G connectivity, but unfortunately it is only supported in Asia and Europe and does not work in America. You can only use the Wi-Fi function in America. After inserting the SIM card, I would recommend you to reboot the smartwatch. So once it turns back on, you can access the control center, and here you will see that the SIM network is detected and it is showing 4G connectivity here, as currently 5G is not supported in Pakistan. After inserting the SIM card, you can go to network and internet, and here connect with 4G and use internet services on your SIM card. Not just that, you can also access the dial pad and call any number directly from it, and you can also receive calls directly on your SIM network. After accepting the call, we have the keyboard here, and you can end the call from here. Just like this, you can access the messages application, and here you can send messages to your other contacts and also receive text messages on it. Here is how a new notification is shown. You can access it later in the notification center, and here is the notification. Being an Android watch, it also supports emojis, as you can see here. Let's talk about the connectivity options. As I showed you earlier, it can use 4G connection services, and it can also connect with Wi-Fi, and my overall Wi-Fi experience had been quite good. The speed of the Wi-Fi is really good. For example, if I go ahead and open the Play Store, here you can see that it will quickly load everything. The Wi-Fi speed is as good as my smartphones. I've used it to download many applications on it. After that, if you scroll down, it also gets the hotspot and tethering option, by which you can share the internet connection of your smartwatch with other devices. After that, we get Bluetooth here, by which you can connect with other devices to transfer files, and you can also connect it with your wireless earphones to listen to songs or to watch videos on the earbuds connected with the smartwatch. Talking about the operating system, the smartwatch runs Android version 8.1. I've also downloaded the CPU-Z application, and it also confirms that the smartwatch runs Android version 8.1. The CPU-Z application also confirms that it comes with 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage capacity. It is showing the usable storage here, as about 7 to 8GB is taken by the system. That is why it is showing 24.69GB here. To take advantage of Android version 8.1, you can access the Play Store and download a lot of applications here. As far as I have checked, it is supporting almost all of the applications you would want on your smartwatch. I've installed a lot of them: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, WhatsApp Business, Instagram Lite, Snapchat and TikTok. And coming with 3GB of RAM, the overall speed of the smartwatch is also good. And if you play one of my videos, currently I am testing the 4G speed, and you can see that it was quite fast. To test the speed, I turned off the Wi-Fi and switched to the 4G network, and as you saw, the speed was quite good. So if you are watching the video and haven't subscribed yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and also hit the thumbs up button if the video turns out to help you. It also comes with built-in GPS inside it, which means you can also use Google Maps on it. Here you can see that it was quite quick to judge my location, as the GPS is really good, and you can also use it for navigation purposes, which is just amazing, as you can easily wear the smartwatch on your wrist and follow the paths. For ease of use, you can also turn on sound feedback. So it has 32 gigabytes of storage capacity. So how to take advantage of it? As I told you earlier, you can install a lot of Android applications here, and then we also get a camera right here, and the overall quality of the camera is really good. Currently I have a microphone here, I have the light at the back, and you can see that it is easily differentiating all of the objects, and it is not adding extra exposure to my face. So overall the camera quality looks quite good considering the size of the display. But one thing is quite disappointing. If you go to Droid info, then it comes with only 0.3 megapixels of camera. But if you talk about the usability, the camera is good. So I'm going to record a video to test the microphone. So hi guys, currently we're testing the microphone and the speaker of this smartwatch. And the speaker as well as the microphone is quite good as you saw. You can access the stored and the downloaded pictures in the album application. We also have a demo video here. Come on guys, I'm a family guy. I already told you that I do not keep these kind of videos in my smartwatch. We also get a video player separately here, and here we have the music application where you can download music from the internet. And not just that, you can also connect the smartwatch to your PC and transfer the music files. And you can also fill the remaining storage by recording sound directly on the smartwatch, which can be a really handy feature. Well, clicking pictures is not the only advantage of the camera. You can also set a passcode and then enroll your face here. So now my face is enrolled, and then you can use the camera to use Face ID on the lock screen. So let's test it. And here you can see that it worked fine. Although you need to move it closer to your face, and it is not as good as your smartphones, but it's doing the job. If we talk a bit about the system UI, then on the home screen we get the notification center from the left side, and from the right corner we get the control center. Then you can swipe upwards to access the widgets page, and you can also access the menu from here. Just like this, you can also swipe down in the menu to go back to the widgets page. Then here we have the cellular menu style with the vertical rotation just like the latest watchOS. The icons are not exactly the same as watchOS, but they are a bit similar. You can go to the themes here, and here we have different themes available. This one seems the closest to watchOS. We also have different menu styles here. You can also choose a background wallpaper. I prefer to go with the black one. Then whichever screen you are on, you can swipe from bottom to top to access the app history. Then we also get this assistive touch here. You can go to settings, and here go to floating window, and here customize the options shown here. You can also double click the side key to access the app history. Then it also comes with a lot of built-in watch faces inside it. Some of them are similar to the watchOS. If you want to install more watch faces, you can swipe all the way to the right, and here go to new edition. The built-in dial market comes with a lot of watch faces inside it, and all of them are available for totally free. You can also tap here to access different categories, and you can go all the way down to custom. All of the watch faces shown here can be customized with your own picture from the gallery. For example, I have this one right here. You can tap on the edit button, then tap on choose picture. So currently I do not have a picture here, so I'm going to click a picture and then go back, and then you can select that picture as the custom watch face. And not just that, you can also download pictures from the internet to be used as custom watch faces. If you want to clear it, you can just tap on clear background. And now if we talk about the screen time, then the smartwatch can stay on for a maximum of 30 minutes, and after 30 minutes of inactivity the display is going to turn off. But the latest VP29 now comes with always on display option. To turn on the always on display, go to settings, and here go to display. Here we have the screen of display option. It comes with 3 styles, 2 with pointer clock and 1 with the number clock. The screen of dial can stay on for the whole day until the battery runs out, and it is one of the 2 smartwatches I reviewed which comes with the always on display option. The other model is the DW100. Its video is also available on the channel. And if you talk about the gestures, it comes with the raise to wake option to turn on the display and palm gesture to turn off the display. Talking about the health applications, it comes with heart rate and blood oxygen level checker, and these are the only applications that I would trust in a smartwatch. If you see blood pressure and similar applications, most of them are probably fake. Let's do the oximeter test. An important thing to be noted is that I would never recommend you to use smartwatches if you have a serious condition or even for daily basis, and I will always recommend you to go with the real health gadgets like an oximeter or a blood pressure checker. So let's do the oximeter test. So my heartbeat is quite high at the moment. As you can see here, both of the devices are showing similar values, and when the value went high on the oximeter, it also went high on the smartwatch, which makes me believe that the sensors are working absolutely fine and the smartwatch has passed the oximeter test. Other than that, we also get the breathe training application here. You can also customize the speed as well as the time, and here we have sleep detection. I tested it last night and the results were not so satisfactory. Maybe it was because it does not consider sleep less than 5 hours to be sleep actually, as last night I didn't sleep for long. Then we also get the step counting or the pedometer application here, and here we also get a lot of sport modes. It also keeps a track of the data and the results were quite satisfactory. I tested it last night. My iPhone recorded 105 steps and it recorded 89 steps. I was just casually walking in my house. According to that, it was quite close to the iPhone and the pedometer does work quite well. Now let's talk about the rest of the applications, the daily routine applications. Here we have the timer. You can set time according to your need here, and when the timer ends, it starts to ring, which helps in letting you know that the time has ended. This option is missing in most of the Bluetooth smartwatches. After that we have calculator here. It's a fully functional calculator. All of the functions like multiplication, division, subtraction as well as percentage also works fine in it, and the option that most of the Bluetooth smartwatches miss, the percentage option also works fine when trying to add specific percentage of a number in the original value. It also has scientific options which is missing in all of the Bluetooth smartwatches, and to be honest, even if it didn't have it, it was not an issue. It's an Android watch. You can go to the Play Store and download any top-notch calculator from it. After that we have stopwatch. It comes with the UI of Apple Watch. You can start the stopwatch, add as many laps as you want and take a look at all of them while the stopwatch is running. And not just that, it can also run in background, which is also missing in most of the Bluetooth smartwatches. Then you can also add alarms in it, and if you set an alarm, you can save it, and after that you can also select the days if you want to repeat it, and you can also change its label. You can go to the sound settings and here scroll down where you can change the alarm ringtone also. Here's how the alarm is shown. It rings as well as vibrates, and both of the things are good enough to wake you up. After that we get the calendar application here. You can also access the calendar for the upcoming and the previous months. You can also save your contacts. You can import them from VCF file, Bluetooth or SIM card, and you can also connect it with your Google account and sync contacts from the Google account. If you go to settings and display, then here we have the NFC option. They've mentioned that it supports non-encrypted ID cards with an input frequency of 13.56 MHz. And as far as I have checked, the smartwatch can also be used as an NFC tag. In the end, if we talk about the battery life, to be honest, it is something which impressed me. It comes with a battery capacity of 800 mAh and you can charge it using the magnetic charger provided in the box, which can also be used to connect it with your PC or Mac, and it also provides you with this bedside clock mode. Talking about the battery life, I've been working on this video for about 3.5 hours. When I started, the battery level was 94%. So I put the smartwatch on always on display at 9:07 PM when it was at 94%, and I continued recording at 11:10 PM, and currently the battery has dropped to 89%. So it only lost 5% of the battery in 2 hours with screen off dial enabled, which is amazing considering it's an Android watch. And during the last 1.5 hour of my video recording, it lost 28% of the battery, which is totally understandable. And during this time, the Wi-Fi and everything was continuously turned on. As you remember, I turned off the Wi-Fi during the video to use 4G connection. Other than that, Bluetooth as well as location services were also turned on. According to that, the battery life is quite good. And in my opinion, if you do not use all of these things continuously and only turn them on whenever you need, then it can easily provide you with a day of battery life. So guys, that will be all from today's video. What do you think about it? To be honest, this smartwatch has impressed me a lot. The battery life is amazing. It comes with Android and 3 GB of RAM. I've installed a lot of applications inside it and it is still working quite fastly, and the speed hasn't slowed down. As I showed you, 4G as well as Wi-Fi is also working quite well, and even the sensors are quite good. And one thing that only DW100 and VP29 Smartwatch comes with, the always on display. If you would like to place an order, you can find the links in the description box below, and I would really appreciate if you can use that link to purchase the smartwatch. For the upcoming videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications, and also help me reach 50,000 subscribers by sharing the channel with your friends. I will catch you in the next one. Until next time, this is iMAT. Peace.